Right. We believe the same.
So when you say spirit, that's what they will receive the spirit. That's why I was asking.
Right?
You're
Okay.
not talking about the spirit of Christ.
Well, the Spirit of Christ was caused us to do this, right?
Okay.
That's the Spirit of life of God.
I guess I'm asking, so you're saying the Sakari, the foundation is the belief that Jesus Christ died and saved the world.
Yes.
And he's the Savior.
Well, the world...
What's your question here is the image.
Hold on,
I agree with that.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. The world, when you say world, you have to understand the world that it's talking about in John 3:16 is not pertaining to everybody on earth. Right? Go ahead. You got it?
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 24. For in the long garment was the whole
The
world,
priest of Aaron, right? What?
and in the 4 rows of the stones was the glory of the Father's graven, thy majesty upon the diadem of his head.
It's talking about that the breastplate of judgment, right? How it had the 4 stones that represented Israel. He's saying that's the whole world is in there. Huh? Go ahead. Give me Isaiah 45 and 17.
That's right. Bring it out.
It's Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye should not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
So Israel is a world. That's the world that Christ came to save, pretty much. And it even says that he himself said that in Matthew 15 and 24. Right, whoever.
God gave the Son so that
Right.
whoever that all who was called his name.
Gotcha. Got the precept up? Yeah,
This is the book of Acts. I'm going to explain what you're talking about because you said whosoever, right?
Right.
All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words.
You men of Israel hear these words, right? So Christ specifically said he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It's like this. If we're all in a house, right? This is the analogy that we commonly use, right? If we're all in a house and I order a pizza, right? And I take that pizza into the house and I have a company of people there, right, that I plan on sharing it with, and the pizza comes and I say, hey, whosoever wants a piece of this pizza can get a piece of this pizza. Does that mean everybody outside the house can get a piece of that pizza? Only the people inside the house, all right? It works the same way. Yeah. It all applies to Israel.
But I noticed like all the verses that you make reference to, all the Old Testament, you don't
Give me Matthew 15 and 24.
This is the book of Matthew, New Testament, chapter 15, verse 24.
Christ speaking.
He say, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He was not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So then what was the Apostle Paul's purpose? Because the Apostle Paul was the one who brought the word to Gentiles, right?
Yeah, he brought the word to the Gentiles.
So it expanded the reach of God. Because originally it was for the Israelites.
Well,
Then when the came, it expanded it to all people.
Let's go to Paul real fast. Give me Romans chapter 9 real fast.
I have a hard time believing.
Okay, it's cool,
There's
brother.
a certain.
It's cool, brother. We got you. 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 I know. We got you. We
I
got you.
believe that.
Romans chapter.
That's how the word goes. Amen.
Hold up, brother. Let's do it one at a time. Bro, come on, brother.
Everyone else.
Brother. Let's live with the Bible. Let's live with the Bible. Okay.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 3. For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
Before we read this, who wrote Romans? That's Paul, right? Okay.
For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh,
Well, it's a bloodline descendancy.
who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption.
The adoption. What's the adoption?
The adoption into the sonship.
So who did say that? Wait, hold on. Chill out, bro. What?
I know. I want, brother. Look,
How do we become sons
Hold
of
up, brother. What did that specifically say? What did that verse say?
He said through adoption, right? That's what it's talking about.
No, who did it say it's for?
Bring it out. Read it again.
The book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 3. For I wish them, verse 4. Who are Israelites?
Subject matter, who are Israelites? Then what?
To whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory,
of the kingdom,
and the covenants,
old and the new covenant,
and the giving of the law,
and the giving of the law,
and the service of God,
Levitical priesthood to make sacrifices,
and the promises,
the Abrahamic promises,
whose are the fathers,
I want to key in on whose are the fathers, the Israelites,
and of whom, as concerning the flesh,
bloodline descendancy,
Christ came.
Christ came for the Israelites, my brother. The adoption's for the Israelites, my brother. The law is for the Israelites. Wait, say it again. The adoption, the law, the glory, the old and new covenant. That's Romans chapter 9, verse 3, all the way down to 6. It gets worse. Jump to verse 7.
God. Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in
Isaac's seed, the Israelites, go ahead,
shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God.
They're what?
Not the children of God.
Everybody outside of Isaac's lineage are not the children of God, according to Paul. Yeah.
When we come to Christ, we die to ourselves.
Come on, brother. What does the scripture just say, bro? What does the scripture just say? You have an issue with the Bible.
No, I don't have an issue.
So what did it say, though? What did it say?
I think it's an interpretation.
Okay, no. It's interpretation. Read verse 4 again. Oh, no. As you said, it's an interpretation thing. I want you to break it down.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites?
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Hold on, because I want you to break it down.
Who are Israelites?
What does that mean? Who are Israelites? Israel.
To whom pertaining the adoption.
Wait, read it right.
To whom pertaining the adoption.
Pertaining. This is pertaining.
Pertaineth the adoption.
Yeah, what does that mean? To the Israelites, it pertaineth the adoption. What does that mean?
That means that they were adopted into the family of God.
Well, they've always been a part of the family of God, but the adoption is for them.
Adoption into.
Wait, then why did it say the Israelites pertaining to the adoption if it's not for them?
But if you were adopted, that means that you have to be taken into.
That's not true. This is spiritual adoption.
Exactly.
You know that, right?
Exactly.
Give me Galatians 4 verse 4. Watch this, right? Because let's go off there. Let's see. Galatians 4 verse 4. Let's go on the adoption.
This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law,
because he was an Israelite,
to redeem
them going to the adoption.
Them that were under the law.
Who was under the law? The Israelites, just like how it said in Romans.
That we might receive
Who?
That we,
the Israelites,
might receive the adoption of sons.
Yes, that's what Christ is for.
Based on that, then what would that put of Gentiles?
What does the word Gentile mean?
It was everyone who was not at that time the Israelites.
Does that always mean that? The word Gentile in the Greek, when you look at that, is the word ethnos. Ethnos means a variety of different things. That word is translated into different words. That word has, like, if you look in the Blue Letter Bible, if you look in the actual Greek, the Koine Greek that is translated from, that word has like 10 plus definitions. So how do we take that that's talking about everybody else? Because if you read just even the first definitions, a people, a nation, a tribe, it could even be Israelites. It means all of that in the one. So that word is only defined by the context that it's used. So if we just read out of Paul's mouth, he said Christ came for the Israelites, the covenants are for the Israelites, the old and the new, that means what? The Gentiles receiving this must be Israelites. And we're going to prove it. Jump down to Romans 9, verse 24.
That's right. They must be Israelites.
Yeah, I'm showing you right now.
The book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 24. Even us, whom he called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Of the Gentiles, go ahead.
As he said also in OC.
OC, what's OC? You know what OC is? He's quoting something. Like he said also in OC. What is that? You know what that is? OC. That's Hosea. He's quoting literally the book of Hosea. It says OC because it's written in Greek. Hosea is a Hebrew name, so it has a Hebrew pronunciation. But right here it's Osei because it's Greek. Go ahead.
I will call them my people,
It's talking about the Gentiles. I will call them my people.
which were not my people,
Yeah.
and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living
Now
God.
let's see where he's reading that from. He's quoting something.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel,
Children of who?
of Israel,
Yeah.
shall be as the sand of the sea,
Yeah.
which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people,
Same thing is said in Romans to the so-called Gentiles, a prophecy about the Israelites.
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children,
Read that part again.
then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel,
Read that.
oh, verse 10? Oh, yeah. Okay. Ye are not, let's read up a little bit. That in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Because they're not called as people because they're called a different name. And if you're called a different name, they're just like us. We're called blacks, we're called Hispanics, we're called Native Americans. None of those are actual lineages. None of that. But in the place where you were called these random names, just like how in that time period they were called Greeks, in that time period Israelites was called wherever they was located at. That's just Samaria, same thing. So in that same place, you're going to be called the sons of the children of God. You're going to come back to your heritage. And that's talking about the adoption. Them being adopted back into the Father because of their transgressions. And because, matter of fact, the transgressions they did is the reason why they're being called a different name. That's actually a curse for breaking the law. Breaking the law makes us Gentiles, my brother. That's the whole purpose of what he's saying. Keep going.
Verse 11.
Now we're going to show how this is talking about Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appointed themselves one head.
One what?
One head.
That one head is Christ. That's Christ right there. Go ahead.
And they shall come up out of the land.
Salvation.
For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Jezreel. That's talking about the day of the Lord's planning, talking about the gospel being fulfilled. If you look in Isaiah chapter 61, it's talking about the same thing, the planning of the Lord. So go back to Romans. Let's read it again with the understanding.
The book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people which were not my people, and her beloved which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God.
Why? Because Christ died for them to bring them back into their nationality. That's what the whole point of the adoption is for. Keep reading. We're going to prove that. It's going to double down on it. Go ahead.
Isaiah also cried concerning Israel.
Concerning who?
Israel.
That's talking about the Gentiles right now, but it's saying also cried concerning Israel.
Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
A remnant shall be saved. It's the same thing, man. Give me Isaiah. Oh, what's up? Yeah, say that. Give me Isaiah 59, verse 20. Who's the Redeemer? That's Christ the Redeemer, right? Watch this.
The book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 20. And the Redeemer,
it's talking about Christ,
shall come to Zion.
Come to who?
Zion. And unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob.
In who?
In Jacob.
Jacob, Israel. The Redeemer shall come to Zion, to them who turn from transgression in Jacob, Israel. It's the same. The whole Bible prophesies about Christ coming to save Israel.
Saith the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them.
My covenant with who?
Them.
No, it's covenant with everybody.
With them, saith the Lord, my spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Romans 11, verse 26. And we're going to prove that's talking about those same Gentiles. Because go to Romans 11, verse 26, right? Paul's going to say the same exact thing.
The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
Who?
Israel shall be saved. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer,
Deliverer, since it's in Greek, it's saying deliverer, but it's actually the Redeemer, like it said in Isaiah.
and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant with them,
With everybody.
with them, when they shall take away, when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the gospel,
That's pretty much it on that. But I'll take away their sins. It's the same thing. Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. It's always, this book has always been about Israel. It's never been about everybody. So people like to make it seem like it's about everybody by twisting words, but if you actually go into the Greek, you actually go into the Hebrew, you bring together parallel scriptures, you get the understanding. Like how I did. Look at like how Paul said, Paul literally quoted Isaiah chapter 59, verse 20. And we had it read, and it says the same thing. It says Israel shall be saved here, and it says Israel shall be saved here in Romans. It's the same exact thing. Watch this.
the book of Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
You gotta call his name Jesus, go ahead.
For he shall save his people,
Save who?
his people from their sins.
He shall save his people from their sins. Christ was an Israelite, so he came to die for them. That's why he said, I'm only sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who I'm sent for. And it doesn't make any sense that he would die for everybody. Give me Romans. Give me 1 John 3, verse 4. Well, technically, you give me Matthew chapter 24. Let me show you something real fast. Because there's a misunderstanding. There's a misunderstanding. Let me clear it up real fast. I know, I'm answering. I'm at 24. Let me see. You good. That.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end,
So if you endure in this truth and doing what Christ actually told you to do until the end,
the same shall be saved.
then you will be saved. At this current moment, nobody's saved at this moment. Saved is being saved from your enemies, saved from this evil world and brought into the kingdom. That's what salvation is. None of us have that right now. We're still under the oppression of America. America still exists as a wicked kingdom. Nobody's saved at this current moment. But what we need to do is keep these words. Give me Revelations. We're going to double down on it. Christ says this too. Revelation chapter 2, verse 2, verse 26. You give me Revelation chapter 22, verse 14.
This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 26.
Yeah, watch this.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end.
Keep the works until the end, because somebody can say we're saved right now, but if you decide to go worship Satan, you're not covered by the blood anymore. Say you want to worship Satan, say you want to be a homosexual, something's worthy of death. Christ is going to kill you. It don't matter how many times you pray to him or whatever. If you turn to unrighteousness, you're still going to get put to death. That's why it says, read it again.
Verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end,
His works until the end, which is keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and the faith.
to him will I give power over the nations.
Give power over the nations, rulership of the kingdom. The just point of it is the kingdom. That's how you get saved, by keeping his works. What is Christ's works? Anybody know what that is? What's the works of righteousness? The commandments. That's what we have to do, my brother. We have to keep. Give me Revelations 14, verse 12. Watch this.
Right, bring it out.
Let's keep it clear. Let's keep it real clear.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 12.
Let's go into the people who are saved. This whole chapter is about the elect, the 144. Basically, everybody being saved at this current moment. Watch this.
Verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God
Commandments of God, like you said, the works of righteousness, the commandments of God, and what?
and the faith of Jesus.
That's what we're out here to do. Our people want to say, oh, Jesus this, Jesus that. That's a part of it. But you have to keep these law, statutes, commandments as well. That's the people who are getting saved, those who are doing both of those things. Works, just like it says in the Bible, works, faith without works is what? It's dead. That's no salvation in that. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. And we're out here to perfect our people, because sin has put us in this predicament. So if we stop sinning and do our best to keep the commandments, we will enter into that kingdom, man. Have faith. Watch this. Last one.
The book of Revelation chapter 22 and verse 14.
It's also the people who have a right to enter into that kingdom.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
This, like you said, this is the last book, the last chapter of the Bible. Read that verse again.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city.
So do you want to enter into the gates to the city? Do you want to enter? So what do we got to do?
Maintain the commandments.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
Maintain our faith. Hold on to our faith.
That's right, my brother.
That's right.
That's right. Well, hold up. Matthew 6, verse 5. Yeah, I got you. I want to make this point real fast. This is what Christ said.
The book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 5. And when thou prayest, that thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
So what Christ just said right there is we can't pray out in the public and where everybody be seen. We're just doing it to be seen by men. But what we can do, when we get to the house, we'll pray for y'all. That's what we will do. That's what we will do. Because we're trying to just listen to Christ. It's Christ over everything, pretty much. That's what I'm gonna say. But we'll pray for y'all, man. I'll say that. I'll keep you on our prayers. Y'all got flyers?
Thank you for sharing.
You on this has our YouTube channel. We have lessons, we have breakdowns on everything in the Bible. So if y'all get a chance, just check it out. Okay. Yeah, read your Bible and keep the commandments. Exactly. That's right.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing, brother.
All praises, man. Yeah. I pray for you, my brother. I pray for both of y'all, man. I pray for your whole house, man. That's right. That's what we do. So finish how you do. Yeah, Kal Halal, man. All praises to the Most High God, man. All praises.
Sky, Isaiah.
Go ahead.